Now it's time to answer a question submitted by you. Today's listener question comes from John. John asks, should I be worried about AI being able to crack the passwords to my accounts? I think there are ways that banks and the like can prevent that from happening. Am I right? John, that was a great question. Thank you so much for sending it in. When you say that a bank or alike probably has provisions to prevent a AI from hacking your password, you're probably talking about that they limit how many times you can guess a password before they lock your account up. The problem is twofold from what I know of cybersecurity. One is sometimes a website for a bank or similar will only block the number of password tries based off of some criteria, like they may recognize that a particular instance of a browser is open, and they're judging how many times the password is tested on that particular browser session. In that case, if you opened up another browser, you could try again. And if you have an AI that's continually rotating through browser IDs, well, it could try the password over and over and over again. Same thing if it's using your IP address in order to figure out who you are and that you're trying to get through the account. The reason why they have it to some sort of specific criterion is a hacker could take an AI and attack a particular bank and say, I want you to try passwords for every known user account or every possible combination of user accounts with so many letters in the user account name. And they could lock hundreds and hundreds of people out of their account with one very simple attack that takes just seconds, relatively speaking. So in order to prevent their system from being shut down like that and having customer service have to deal with dozens and dozens and dozens of calls every minute trying to reset passwords or unlock online banking, they're going to have some other criterion in place. Now, that's not to say everyone does that. It might be finite, no matter how many times the password is tried anywhere and it locks it down. Well, in that case, that could help prevent an AI hacking your password, but there's still one other way around that. Oftentimes when there's a major security vulnerability when it comes to passwords, it's because a hacker has gone in and gotten the backlog, the back of house list of all the passwords. Now, the passwords are encrypted. They're hashed. They're presented in a way that you couldn't just type it in as is presented. It needs to be translated back into the original password or the correct password. Now, if you have all of the hash data, you have the user accounts there, well, you can have an AI go through and run a program where it's trying to correctly match up potential passwords with the hash data in order to crack the hashing encryption and the like. So if that's the case that's going on, you have this AI attacking stuff in a sandbox separate from the account. Well, it can figure out everybody's passwords, then just go in and log in and get the passwords on the first try later. So yeah, AI hacking a password is a concern. AI does a much better job than other hacking programs or a hacker straight up trying to guess your password on its own. And it's able to operate much, much faster. For the sake of this conversation, I've looked up an article that talks about artificial intelligence hacking passwords. This is an article from 9to5Mac. It's called Terrifying Study Shows How Fast AI Can Crack Your Password. Here's How to Protect Yourself. So I'm not going to go through this article like I would if it were a main topic, but it's definitely a good read if you want to learn a little bit more about this topic and improve your cybersecurity understanding so that you can protect yourself from AI. The big thing that I want to show you if you are watching on YouTube or Rumble is this table down here, and I'll talk through it for those who are just listening on audio. But there was a study that was done with an AI password cracker called PassGen, and it ran through a list of 15 million plus known passwords, and it tried to crack each one of them. And as a result of the study, they were able to figure out how long it would take the AI to crack a password given the number of characters and the composition of those characters. So if you only use numbers for your password, it's able to crack your password if you have 11 characters or fewer. If you have 12 characters, it takes 25 seconds. If you have 14 characters, it takes a little more than half an hour. If you have 15 characters, it takes 5 hours. And if you go all the way up to 18 characters and it's only numbers that you're using, it will still be able to hack your password in 10 months. So that's a relatively long password, but there are other ways other than just making it longer that you can improve your password strength. The next one was lowercase letters only. In this case, as opposed to 11 characters where it instantly gets through the password, it's limited to 7 because you have more options with letters than you do numbers. So if you have 7 characters and all lowercase letters, you're very vulnerable to an AI attack. The point where you become well protected is 14 characters and above for only lowercase letters. At 14 characters, it takes 49 years to get your password right. And if you use 15 characters, all lowercase, it takes 890 years for the AI to get your password. If you use a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, 6 characters and fewer, you get instantly hacked. And the length that I see that looks most applicable to being properly protected is 12 characters. So if at 12 characters with upper and lowercase letters, it takes 289 years for an AI to hack your password. For numbers, uppercase and lowercase letters all mixed together, 6 characters or fewer, still instantly hacked. If you have 8 characters, it's 48 minutes to get hacked. And once you get up to 12 characters, it takes 2,000 years to hack your password. 11 characters was 38 years, so 11 probably enough to protect you there. Now, as you know, a lot of places mandate that you use uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and a special symbol in order to improve the quality of your password. So if you follow that best practice for making a password, how many characters do you need to have a password that, at this point, is AI proof? Well, according to this particular study, at 10 characters, it takes 5 years to get through your password if you use a mix of everything. And if you use 11 characters, it takes 356 years. 12 characters, you're at 30,000 years. And anything above that is just ridiculous, at least for where AI technology is today. So to answer your question, John, yes, AI hacking passwords is a thing that we should be concerned about, especially as the quality of AI is improving by leaps and bounds. Just in the last year, we've seen AI go from, ooh, this is kind of cool, to mainstream. And where we are now, if you have a properly balanced password that uses numbers, lowercase, uppercase, and special symbols, you only need 11 characters to make it AI proof. So if you do that with all your passwords, you probably do not need to be worried about it being hacked by AI. And if you wanted to future-proof it, you could simply add a character or two beyond the 11 characters. But once you go past that, you're basically getting beyond the point of diminishing returns and making password management more difficult on yourself.